Hello, you're welcome to ABC Highlights, your guide to news happening in the country, on the continent, and across the globe. My name is Golda Abba Dai.
And my name is Nana Kwame Bobe. We are going to dive in and on to our first story. So, Ghanaian musician and actor Andini Akrashi, popularly known as OJ Black, has passed. The news started making rounds today, that is Thursday, 17th August 2023, as stakeholders of the entertainment industry, as well as Empowerment Worship Center, where he actively served as a junior pastor, started reporting of his demise. So a lot of people do not know, all of us, nothing has been confirmed as to exactly what took his life, but people are speculating that it could be the kidney disease that he was diagnosed of somewhere in 2021. So OJ Black was diagnosed with a kidney problem where he had to go undergo dialysis for. And a lot of people were wishing him well, praying with him, and he appeared onto the scene again, this time seemingly more healthy. But he had lost a lot of weight that caused Ghanaians to worry, but he seemed fine. He was off from the scene for quite a while, and the first time you're hearing anything major from his camp or anything to do with him is a sudden, very shocking demise.
It is. He was full of life, and it is sad.
It is really, really sad.
May he rest in peace.
Exactly. From ABC and everybody here, we say we are reaching out to the family, to the friends, every loved one, and say we hope God keeps you through this very, very, very hard phase in life. And for music lovers, for everybody that loved him, that loved the Charlie Watikuna, we know that his music will live with us. His lustrous beard will stay with us, and his unique raps that would definitely never die.
Amen. On to our next story. So, Minority is given Bank of Ghana 7 days to present information on their new headquarters. The Minority Caucus in Parliament has given the Bank of Ghana 7 days to provide information on the cost of its new headquarters under construction in Accra, pursuant to Section 18 of the Right to Information Act 989. The Member of Parliament MP for the Boko Central constituency, Mahama Ayariga, signed the letter on behalf of the Chief Whip of the Minority Caucus, Kwame Govins Agboza. My name is Mahama Ayariga Esquire, and I am the representative of Boko Central constituency in Parliament on the ticket of the NDC. Kindly provide information within 7 working days from the date of this letter. So Bank of Ghana is supposed to respond because in previous weeks we heard they wanted to invest $215 million into their new headquarters, and Ghanaians were very upset with that. So we're waiting to see what kind of information they bring on why they need $250 million to build a new headquarters.
Um, Please, I'm just asking.
Okay.
This is not as much as it is very distasteful to say the least that that came from that camp, especially in the time we are in as a country. I don't think it's the biggest thing to come or surround the Bank of Ghana way of working or just even like their process or their day-to-day activities. When that loss was reported,
The 60 billion.
exactly 60 billion. I wish that the parliament will call or would have called the governor to come and explain.
Apparently they did. He hasn't appeared.
So, so he hasn't appeared for the first one.
I think he was called a number of times and he hasn't appeared. A panel was discussing it and they kind of made the point that the media is reporting it as people don't, report to Parliament. That is not the truth. Parliament can call on anyone. So his refusal to go is what the problem is.
So his apparent refusal to go for the first reason has been left unchecked. And we are giving him an ultimatum to go or come again for the next one.
Well, the argument for needing a new headquarters is that it is
A flag.
no, prone to earthquakes.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
they need a new headquarters. So hopefully he does respond, or the Bank of Ghana they respond to it, and then we'll know why they need $250 million.
And not just that, I think they should respond to the loss as well. It is more striking
They
than
do.
their need for a new headquarters. Also, we are moving on to our next story, and the government of Ghana's decision to tax 10% of all birth withdrawals or withholdings is still making rounds. I mean, I don't think the news is about to die anytime soon. And somebody to add their opinion or voice to the matter is MPP presidential candidate aspirant Kennedy Agyapong, who has said that the 10% on tax is charitable. and that it should have been more, or it should even be more.
No, Pacho, make a fancy and not China break it down. Maybe I know being charitable, that's it.
I'm
Please
your
explain
interpreter
that.
today.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so basically, charitable and say, I'll buy no I am favor. I'll buy no dia chamuka because I call no kwan ka any more than 50%. And his reasoning is he cites the US as an example, and he goes on to say that when you win an amount of 1 billion from the US lottery, your take home is around 600 million, meaning about 400 million has been taxed because it's free money, which is taxable. So they have been charitable to the youth with the 10%.
Okay, so I don't know if this analogy will work. So his argument is that in the US, lottery is taxed, and hence Ghana should do the same.
Yes.
Do politicians in America get punished for corruption? Can the same law apply in this country?
I think that question doesn't need me to answer,
All right.
but it works either ways. If you are putting yourself side by side with presumably one of the most powerful countries in the world, maybe let's learn more than taxation. Let's learn accountability. Let's learn efficient leadership. Let's learn people putting the country first before anything. But who are we to talk, right?
Yes. Well, we're still on our last story for the day, and it's still tied to this betting issue. Now, I am scandalized NDC is protesting over gaming tax issue. Pius Hazide. This is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority. He's not happy that NDC is protesting against the 10%, tax on betting. And so let me read the story. It says the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority, Pius Enam Hazide, has lashed out at the opposition National Democratic Congress for criticizing the 10% betting tax. The introduction of the 10% betting tax, part of the government's efforts to raise revenue, has been met with criticism and concern. The NDC Youth Wing, in a statement signed by the National Youth Organizer, George Opari Ado, announced a series of actions to force the government to withdraw the 10% betting tax. The decision comes in a response to what the party perceives as a burdensome taxation policy that unfairly impacts the country's youth and the broader betting industry. Now, this is the response of the CEO of the National Youth. He says, I'm pretty much scandalized listening to NDC with the impression that they are creating. If there's a problem with employment, in NDC's view, young people should resort to betting as a means of resolving whatever challenges young people are confronted with. I am scandalized. Let me just place it on record that it is not just the majority leader of Seche Mensa Bonsu who has issues with betting and what betting can do to the value system of any country. Even the minority leader Atufosin has called on the state to ban all forms of betting, and hence betting should be taxed.
The deflection is upsetting to begin with. And to level the conversation down to if you're against the taxation, then it means you support the youth betting is beyond.
You don't think there's a correlation there or no?
No, listen, I think when you level the conversation down to okay, then if you don't bet them, the youth should then go ahead to bet. It makes very little for lack of a better word, is not very rational in my thinking. I think the problem that the NDC has, or the problem that most Ghanaians have when it comes to the burdensome taxes that this government has rallied on all of us, is the fact that Ghanaians don't have a problem with tax. They have a problem with not seeing their tax put to work. So yes, tax anything you want. You want to cite to USA, fine, but the system works for them. Everybody can point to what their taxes are being used for. So yes, okay, so you're going to tax everything that you deem immoral. So when is the fornication tax going to be put on, or adultery tax? Because it's illegal to. No, it's immoral, right? Let's tax everything immoral and tell us that when you're against it is because you want the immorality to continue. I don't think the conversation should be limited to that cheap binary.
Okay, so you're saying that the conversation shouldn't be limited to okay, so if you don't support the 10%, then it means you want the youth to bet. The youth to bet. You can find better reasonings for why
Exactly. I think it's beyond that really.
All right. That was our last story for the day. My name is Golda Badai.
And my name is Nana Kwame Bobe. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Do follow us on our social media platforms. It's at abcnewsgh_ and visit abcnewsgh.com for your latest news in politics, governance, and sports. See you.